Let's kick this thing off. Good morning from paradise. It is Tuesday, August 5th. We are in the trenches, various Telegram groups, Twitter, and I'm just seeing a level of despair, depression, sadness that I haven't seen in a long time. And it is just crazy. Guys, everyone take a deep breath. This is not time to panic sell. This is not time to get depressed. Okay, your alts are a little bit down. Okay, things aren't pumping this week. Just calm down, chill out. We're still in a bull run, folks. Enough of this depression. We're gonna explain to you why you guys ought to still be bullish. We'll cover some charts. We'll cover some stories. We'll cover some surf updates for you and whatever other topics we want to get to today. But I don't know, Nick, are you seeing what I'm seeing just in various groups? Everyone's so down in the dumps, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, the people, the Bitcoin maxis and the people that are working in traditional finance are still supremely bullish. The Bitcoin maxis are still have their conviction, their wallet watching, seeing the accumulation occurring while supply is going down. But of course, the degenerates and the people in the altcoins are a little down. But you guys, these alts are still up 60-70% off the lows. I mean, Ethereum is still sitting at $3,600. Floki is still up 65% off the low. Surf is up 70% off the low. PLS is up 130% off the low. PTGC is up 300% off the low. Like, okay, it's not pumping today. You have some red candles. What? So you wanted to sell the exact top 3-4 days ago, and now when did you buy the dip? You know, it's not that easy. So I think people need to calm down. You know who else is supremely bullish? Thomas Lee was on CNBC yesterday, and he's calling for 65 to 6,600 S&P 500 by the end of this month. That would be another 3 to 5% rally in the largest stock index, which would be pretty wild. I would like to see how that would impact our crypto stocks and, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum over the course of this month.
I love Tom Lee. He's the perma bull that we all need in our lives. And I'll say it again, a great saying, but I love bears sound smart, bulls get rich. Over time, markets have a funny way of going up, up, up. I just read an interesting story, not interesting. It's a reminder that a year ago today, Bitcoin had dumped on the Japanese unwind carry trade or unwind of the carry trade, whatever that was, dumped to $49,000 1 year ago today. So up about 130% since then, 12 short months ago. And it's just a reminder that if you are long-term enough, what happens any given day, what happens any given moment, red, green, whatever, these assets have a funny way of going up, up, up as the years go by. So I don't know. I know a lot of alts are down, and some of our holdings are down big too. I mean, it's not fun. I'm not sitting here going, "Yay!" My portfolio's down, but I just don't let it affect me that much because you just think, "All right, today's down. Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, things are going to be running again." And the reason why I think Tom Lee said that, I didn't watch his clip, is because the Fed is going to have to intervene here. There is really no doubt in my mind, there shouldn't be doubt in anybody else's mind, that after that terrible job report came out, I mean, that was abysmal. And the revisions, I mean, we haven't seen those kind of revisions in like a decade or two. I mean, just enormous revisions to the downside. The Fed has to step in. And they even said it in the press conference, Powell said it, that they're keeping rates where they're at so that they have room to maneuver in case, okay, inflation goes crazy or the labor market breaks down. Guess what happened 2 days later? The labor market absolutely shit the bed. So they have to. I mean, in his own words, they kept the rates here high because that gives them room to maneuver down and buoy the economy and buoy the markets. So this is what's going to happen. I don't know why everyone's panicking and everyone's down in the dumps today. But the meeting is on September 15th or 16th and 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So we're a little more than a month, 5-6 weeks away, and we get another Fed meeting, and things are going to start running in advance of that. So I'm just sick of the negativity, the down in the dumps sort of mentality I'm seeing on crypto Twitter. Everyone just needs to calm down and take a chill pill. And if you can't handle the volatility, you can't handle your portfolio going down 5-10% in a week or two after it's gone on a big run, I mean, you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong game. You can invest in real estate, maybe gold. You like stuff not going up and not going down much. There's gold, although gold's done very well in the past year. So there's different things if you can't handle this the ups and the downs. But for someone who's been in the markets, crypto markets specifically for 8 years, I'm sure glad I held on to all the ups and the downs. Let me tell you, because if I panic sold my Bitcoin every minute or every day was a down, I would have been out of this 7.5 years ago
Yeah,
and
so
made no
shout
money.
out to Crypto over here saying smash that like and subscribe button. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below with your wallet address for a chance to win the $10 daily giveaway here on the Crypto Paradise live streams. Let's take a look at some charts as well. Let's see what is Bitcoin and Ethereum doing here. As you can see, Bitcoin 114,470. The worst case scenario would be this ABC down occurring, which would break below this very important $112,000 support level, but still stops you somewhere around that $110,000 resistance that is flipped support. What's interesting about this is yesterday we were live up here at the highs, and I was like, well, this could be an A, B, and we're working on a C, and so far we are trending down the C line. I'm not rooting for that. I'm rooting for this green line to hold, and we make this big bull flag, and we go off to the races. What's interesting about Bitcoin showing weakness today too is the Dow Jones is up today, the S&P 500 is up today, the Nasdaq is up today, and you have Thomas Lee saying that he thinks the S&P 500 is going to go up 3 to 5% over the remainder of August. So we'll see if this is a final shakeout. Also, we do have the Frontier Fund that is watching liquidation points and says that there is some liquidation points not too far low, and there could be one more sweep of these lows to kind of liquidate positions before the market's upturn as well. So that's another good data point, some insight that we have there due to the Frontier Fund. Again, if you want to get into the Frontier Fund, it's about 15% monthly profits that you can pull out or compound. You need 400,000 SURF or more. They do some leverage trading on Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum primarily. We see Ethereum's action here. Now, look, I kept this over here so I can drag it today. Oh, it's kind of interesting. A, B, and now working down. Again, I want this to hold. I wish this isn't an ABC. I hope we're up. A little consolidation. We go to attack 3,900 again, and then we have breakout above 4,000. But, we'll see. You got to look at the bearish scenarios too, so mentally you can understand what's going on and you don't panic sell, because this ABC down will flush out a lot of liquidations. And look, it's going to run right into your 300 moving average for support if it happens, as well as retesting this $3,000 to $3,100 consolidation area that occurred just a couple weeks ago. So nothing crazy going on in the market today. Slight green across the board on the stocks. There's the Nasdaq. There's the S&P. Where you at? Slightly up as well. What's interesting here is Coinbase has actually been getting hammered. It just got downgraded by a company saying a target of $240. Now, I don't know about that. But we did sell up here at 396, and we sold up here at 365. We bought 25% back at 326. Called down again, red today. Major support on Coinbase around $261. I don't think 240 is in the books. I think Bitcoin's too bullish for that. But if you have a Bitcoin breakdown, then yeah, Coinbase does have a chance of getting back into 260s, which is pretty wild considering S&P is green and Coinbase is part of the S&P 500 now. And then lastly, before we hop over to see what Amaru is thinking, we go to Pulse Chain. Slight green plus 0.66% on PLS. Slight green on PLSX, Inc., and minus on Hex. So 3 of the 4 blue chips on Pulse Chain are slightly green in the face of red Bitcoin and red Ethereum.
Hey, look, there's not a lot happening today. Okay, Bitcoin's down a little bit. ETH is up a little bit. Pulse Chain, mixed bag. I mean, everything's just kind of languishing or just chilling, consolidating. I don't know if the ABC chart that you presented there will play out. Maybe we'll get a V-shaped recovery. No one really knows. There is something I think important to recognize as respects the crypto market in particular. You mentioned our friends at the Frontier Fund. They're obviously in the trenches trading every single day, monitoring what's happening on these big exchanges with leverage traders. And you have to remember, this market, the crypto market, is highly manipulated. And so, you kind of have to take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt. So S&P 500 is doing well today. Nasdaq's doing pretty well today. Crypto's doing okay. That could largely be due to manipulation. It could be some big old whale selling out. It could be for a multitude of reasons. But my ultimate point is you kind of have to filter through the day-to-day noise. And I know we love to cover the charts on a day-to-day basis because it's fun and entertaining. But from an investor standpoint, what happens on any given day is not that relevant. I go back to the story we mentioned earlier on the show. 1 year ago today, Bitcoin was at $49,000. There was some big panic due to some macro, I guess, something event happening in Japan, the unwind of the carry trade, having to do with their interest rates dropping at the time. And everyone was freaking out. And, I'm sure at that time people were, oh, Bitcoin's dead or whatever. Here we are, 12 months later, 130% returns for anyone who just decided to ignore that and hold or buy the dip at that time. So, I'm not too worried. I think today, and you're going to see some manipulation in the charts. If there's low liquidity, that's kind of what happens. These exchanges start to flush out leverage traders, and but you do ultimately need that to some degree to have another uptrend. So we're good, not worried at all. I don't think anyone should be panicking. I mean, what can you do during this time to, if you're feeling depressed or upset about it? Look, it's August 5th. It's still summertime. This is a great time to go on a vacation. This is a great time to touch grass. This is a great time to spend time with family and friends. You don't have to always be in the markets and just monitoring the charts if emotionally it's a bit overwhelming. So, a good time to step out, do something else, enjoy the rest of summer here. And I do think, the next few weeks, once we get maybe a few more data points on inflation, a few more data points on the labor market, everyone's going to start to come to the conclusion the Fed will be cutting rates in the September meeting. And when that happens, when the market faces that fact, we will start to run again. And maybe that's where Tom Lee came to that estimate on S&P running 3% this month. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling my news feed here. There isn't much going on in crypto, no major news. I mean, if it tells you anything on why I think you should be bullish on crypto, is American Eagle is up like 20 or 25% with the girl doing the jeans commercial, and then Trump's shouting it out saying it's the hottest ad that's on in the market right now, and the traditional stock market is up 20%. So I think the world for degenerates, for meme culture, for crypto vibes is still there, and it's
The
pretty
stock
funny
market's
that
been
that's
taken
going on.
over by retail. That's been one of the phenomenons that I think the GameStop saga taught us. Um, the fact that so many trades are happening through the likes of Robinhood. Um, the stock market has become much, much more retail driven than ever before, and that trend is not going anywhere. That's just going to accelerate. You read about kids as young as 15, 16 years old. They're in their high school investing clubs. This is now a phenomenon. Investing is, and it permeates all sectors of society. People who have money anyway, and crypto's a part of it. Crypto's a cornerstone of the kind of the retail side of investing and resale side of the market. So I mean, you can accept reality or you can fight it or deny it. I choose to accept reality. I choose to work within it. I choose to go with the trends. Not that I'm trading every meme stock out there. I don't really touch those. But you just need to understand where the tides are headed. And crypto's not going anywhere. It's really not. We did see some actually signs of retail selling on this, a little bit of a correction here, some outflows, as it were, on some of the ETFs. I think the ETH ETF, also the Bitcoin ETFs, had some outflows recently. Nothing compared to the inflows that had gone in over the past, 30 or 45 days. But it's a reminder that even those investing in the ETFs can be a little Jeet like in their behaviors, a little Jeetish. Guy, I don't know who among those investing in the ETFs are calling their financial advisor, all right, man, sell now. But I guess there's panicky, emotional people all over the market. So look, use this information to your advantage. A lot of retail in the space now, whether crypto or the regular stock market. And you can, if you're just a little bit smarter than the average Joe, a little bit more longer term, have a little bit more discipline, you can do well in these markets and do better than the guy that's panic selling the dips and FOMOing into the tops.
Yeah, I really don't have too much to add. I'm looking at the charts here. There's nothing glaring. I mean, everything's kind of sideways, sitting on support. You got BNB doing something similar to Ethereum. Coinbase we already went over. Ethereum we already went over. I mean, Floki's still over the 1,000 mark, so that's what you like to see. And yeah, MicroStrategy is down 1%. I mean, nothing's crazy going on here. I am surprised to see so much red in the crypto markets with all three of the major indices green on the stock side. Slightly
Well,
green,
the
but green
majors are doing
nonetheless.
fine. I mean, I think the majors are doing well. I mean, Bitcoin's down a little bit, ETH is up a bit. I don't know about Solana, maybe down a bit, but
Everything's red. There's not a single green crypto
oh,
today.
really? Okay. Well, I thought you just went through the Ethereum and showed it was a bit of green. But in any event, I know a lot of low cap alts are getting hammered right now, and I think that's due in part to the fact that we're in a phase of the bull run where it's just mostly Bitcoin and ETH that's been running. Maybe some money's been flowing into some of the majors over the past 30 days. You mentioned like Floki's up 60%, whatever. There's a bunch of them done well over the past 30 days or so, but excuse me, money hasn't really flown into the super low caps yet. The memes are pretty much dead. So Pump Fund um, is down like 80% in volume or something like that. So I mean, we're just not there yet from a market standpoint, market cycle standpoint, where your low cap alts are running. Remember, that's a phase. That's a very small, limited phase in the whole market cycle. So if you're in that low cap, degenerate side of crypto, as we are, you have to understand the game you're getting into, and the game is, for most of the time, you're either on a downtrend with those coins or you're just consolidating. And then you have those brief moments in time where the stars align, the liquidity is aligned, the attention's aligned, and you have a run on your low cap holdings, and those gains can be explosive. That's how you do the 5 or 10x returns in a few weeks or a month. But usually those moments are short lived, and so for those who are hanging out and hodling a bunch of low cap alts like I am, your choice is simple. You sell out now and wait and leave, or you just hold on, dig deep, and wait for better times. That's how I look at it. Those are your two options at this point. You sell and take a loss, or you hold and you hope for better days, or better yet, you help push and make the project get some more exposure on Twitter or wherever through raids or whatever you can do. But those are the options. And so for me, I'm a moon or dust guy when it comes to my low cap alts. I know people are hurting right now and everything's down. But to me, it's moon or dust, and just hold on here and wait until the stars have aligned.
Shout out to Backwards Hat Dad for tuning in over on Twitter, and shout out to Crypto here on YouTube saying we are so early. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section below. Or if you have any questions, let us know. This is going to be a shorter video because there isn't much going on in the news. There isn't much going on in the charts. We do have Pengu chart up here. This is one that we sold the airdrop of a $3.7 billion market cap. I was live with Nate saying somewhere down here. We were both like, somewhere down here is going to be low, and we kind of missed it. Didn't really give an official buy. Another selling consolidation here, but this is kind of the buy zone we've been looking at, and we are trending in that direction. If there is, in fact, an ABC correction on Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can see here A down, B up. The C down might get you into this range in between the 200 moving averages, so maybe Pengu is a play. I think Pengu is going to be a big winner in Q4 2025. It's just a matter of where do you get an entry into Pudgy Penguins and the IP of Pengu token. But that's one to keep an eye on, and this is the buy zone, so stay tuned in to see as we progress with that.
How we looking on some of our other favorite coins these days?
Still green, but down, I believe. I mean, Dose, we're in at 100K market cap. It's sitting at a 400K market cap. Dubcat, still over $1 million market cap. We're in that at 300K. Emit, we're in at 49 cents. It is just loves hanging out at this 115 to 116 cent level. Even when the market is down, it remains green as people start to find their way over to Emit, a DeFi platform over on Pulse Chain. But the nice thing is, as you earn EMIT by farming yield, you can solo stake EMIT to earn EDAI. So you don't have to ever really sell the EMIT. You can earn that stablecoin, which is always a nice feeling, and then deploy that stablecoin as you deem fit. Fuck 9 to 5, $3 million market cap, down 7% today though. Obviously, they had that massive run up and they have came back, and now they're in their consolidation range once again. Would love to see Fuck 9 to 5 hold these levels and start to make higher lows and head back up to the upside. Obviously, all of its liquidity is with Solana, and Solana's been underperforming lately. So we need Solana to catch a break here for Fuck 9 to 5 to rip again. The Hype token up to 8.7 cents. This is the big brother of Vox, which we'll get to as we scroll down here. What else we got going on today? PTGC, slightly green, but man, Big rip. Last time we told you to buy that one, here it is.
Well, this is just a reminder that it's all dependent on where you got in. If you bought it at the lows, you're chilling on these corrections. If you bought
Yeah,
the
but
high, you're
you
panicking
also
in the
gotta
low. You
find
may
your
have a
entries
low.
in these corrections. That's why people tune in. They want to find the next entry. That's great. So we're trying to help you. This is the next entry. Told you to buy here at 6,300. Right now it's 7,300. So that is a 15% gainer in 3 days. So you gotta, if you didn't get in down here, you gotta find an entry somewhere. Otherwise, you're gonna be the guy watching the chart all the way up and sitting on a big bag of cash rather than a big bag of gains. So that's just the nature of the beast in crypto. You're not always gonna get the best entry. You got to look for the second entry. And we try to do that on the show. Like, although we're in fuck 9 to 5 at a 300K market cap, if we scroll out here, we gave you another buy at a $2 million market cap just a day before this big run up. And even with this big pullback, a Solana down, fuck 9 to 5 down, everything's down, the second entry that we gave you is still up 18%. Here's the first one. So we continuously talked about it all in here before these runs. So, you got to listen, got to do your own due diligence, even if you don't get the best entry. If you want the best entry, own 200,000 surf, get in the DAO group and get these entries. But always tune in for these second best entries, for the information of, hey, they're going to do another marketing campaign, or they got to do another KOL, or they're doing this on the roadmap. Get an entry now, even if you missed the first one. And we're trying to stack some gainers, because it isn't always chase the new shiny objects. It's find good entries on great projects and ride them to Valhalla. That's what the mindset should be.
Well, I'll tell you this about fuck 9 to 5. Someone's getting great entries right here. Man. And there's going to come a time when those who are in profits or just not that convicted about the project, they stop selling because they've run out of tokens, or they've decided, okay, I'm not going to sell at these levels. It's gone too low. I'm holding on here. And then the buyers step in. There becomes more buyers and sellers on a given day. And that's how you then get those massive green candles where things pump like 5x in a matter of a few days, because the sellers are gone. So yes, it's going to take Solana cooperating. It's going to take the wider crypto market cooperating. It's going to take the Fed cooperating. I mean, these things are all interrelated and interconnected, and everything's dependent on different things. But yeah, folks buying at fuck 9 to 5 at these levels, or any coin right now that's on a correction. Those are the guys who do well in this space. The guys with the balls to buy on the dips.
Yeah, I mean, it is another good setup. You are oversold on the RSI. That's the first time that has happened since all the way back here, which happened to be a low right before a V-shaped recovery. So, from a technical perspective, things still look good. Obviously, you want Solana to do good, but fuck 9 to 5, great cold community. And had this massive run up, and then this kind of, this just doesn't look great. But this means they had some kind of caller or some kind of marketing campaign that was front run, and that KOL looks like they just sold all their tokens, would be my assumption. But still putting in a floor that's 30% higher than the previous low. That's why you would like to see this kind of round out and work its way up once again.
I don't know if they brought any other KOLs. I mean, I didn't notice any. They didn't mention anything to us. They didn't show us any tweets of anyone going out. They had done a marketing campaign that was more community driven. It was like a community contest, I think, around that. That's what they lean into a lot, which I think is great. So I don't know if it's influencers or what. I think, look, anytime you skyrocket and do like a 5x in a couple of days, you got people that are sitting on big profits, and they just take profits. And then if the price keeps going down, then you start to get the panic sellers come in as well, which can drag things even down lower. But at some point, those folks run out of tokens, and then you have the uptrend and the reversal.
Yep, and then here's the ETH BTC chart. This is still what we've been showing, looking for the next objective back up to this green line up here, and we have just continued to consolidate. Now, for the bears in the room, you could say, hey, this is a left shoulder ahead, and you're working on a right shoulder. If it comes down here, ETH dominance drops down. That means Bitcoin goes on a run, and alts do flounder for another month or so. So we don't want to see that. Come on, Ethereum. Hold these levels. Hold these levels, flag out, and go higher, just like we did here. Hold the levels and go higher. Hold the levels and go higher. It's ETH season. It's ETH only, up only season, peeps. Buy Ethereum and paint a pretty chart here for us. All right, thank you.
Well, Tom Lee's on it. I know Bitmine's on it. I know SBT's on it. Joseph Lubin's on it. I know the Ethereum machine is on it. There's been others that have, come online recently as well. Ethereum Strategic Reserve companies. So, Ethereum's sort of dependent on different investors now, a different class of investors. Retail isn't really going to drive where it goes, I think, anymore. This is an institutional game, I think, starting here with Ethereum. So, as long as those huge entities keep buying hundreds of millions worth of Ethereum on a weekly basis, which it seems like they're not slowing down, I'm really not worried. Yeah, we may have a consolidation. Things may break down in the charts temporarily. We may hit some lows, some support levels that nobody wanted to see. But eventually things will run again because I think Ethereum is now just early days. I mean, think about how early this Ethereum strategic reserve narrative is compared to the Bitcoin one. MicroStrategy's been doing this with Bitcoin for going on 3 or 4 years, right? They started, I think, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that's been going on for 3 or 4 years. This started a month ago. So just remember where you are in the cycle. Remember the timing of everything. We are still early, super early, as our friend Crypto said here on the live stream.
Yeah, we look at the Bitcoin dominance here. This is a bearish formation if you break down here, which would lead you back to the major support level and the desired 60% or 59% Bitcoin dominance. So, hey, altcoin degenerates. You got the Ethereum dominance chart hopefully breaking up. You got the Bitcoin dominance chart looking to break down. You got the stock market green. You got Thomas Lee saying stocks are going to go up 3 to 5% by the end of the month. And you got history telling you that Bitcoin in this year, after having cycles, is a green month. So I know we're only 5 days into this, but things would tell me, hey, if Bitcoin is green, yet Bitcoin dominance goes down, that means Ethereum is outperforming and your altcoins are going up as well. That's the theory, that's the thesis, and we'll see how this plays out over the next 25 days.
It's a long month, right? I mean, a week in crypto feels like a year sometimes. So we got plenty of time for the market to turn green and Bitcoin and ETH and everything, all your alts start to run. So I'm really not worried at all. We're having a little bit of a consolidation phase here on Bitcoin, a little consolidation on ETH, not a big deal, a little bit of redness in the markets. It's not always going to be green. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And, if you can't handle the ups and the downs, the emotional roller coaster that is crypto, I mean, you're in the wrong game. You're just in the wrong game. But for those who can handle it, look, it can be very lucrative if you can keep your emotions in check. Either hold on through these volatile moments or, better yet, buy the dips. That's how you make a bunch of money in this space.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions, any charts you want to look at, any comments? What gems are we missing? Otherwise, we'll probably wrap this up. We got another meeting here in 15 minutes, and there's not a lot going on in the news. Scrolling the news feed, and there isn't a ton going on. Coinbase did just raise, or planning to raise $2 billion, but they're not announced. People are speculating they're out Bitcoin. They're going to buy ETH. No, they said they're going to use it for overhead costs. This is one thing I've been telling Brian Armstrong.
Too.
I've been telling
they'll buy some shitty tech companies that they'll add to their product service offerings, I'm sure. But
I've been telling Brian Armstrong for a long time they just need to cut their overhead costs. Coinbase is one of those remaining woke DEI inflated business models that still needs to cut. It's the one major tech company and sitting here in crypto that has not cut their spending, has not cut their overhead costs. So if you're a shareholder, if you trade their asset, which I do, that's what they need to do. Cut their overhead costs. They're a bloated company for what they are. That's plain, point blank, simple. Look over their overhead costs. Look at how much they're paying some of their employees. They have too many employees at too high pay for what they're producing, and if they nip that in the butt, they're in the S&P 500 right now. Cut costs, Brian. You're in the best possible industry you can be in to make profits. USD Tether is literally the most profitable company that exists. Take advantage of it. Cut some overhead. Yes, it sucks. You're going to have to give some severance plans. Nip it in the butt. I know they did do something recently where they kind of said, hey, we're not doing political stuff. We're not doing BLM. We're not doing DEI. If you don't like it, we'll give you a 3-month severance plan. If you do like it and you believe in our mission and our mantra for the future of finance, stay with us. And I think they said about 10% or 9% of their employees, maybe it was 3%, I can't remember, did take the severance. They're gone. So they are trying to refocus. They're trying to get things on track. They understand they're a publicly traded company with a massive opportunity in the S&P 500. Now is not the time to care about people's feelings. It's time to care about people's finances.
Well, yeah, that DEI phase is long over now with Trump having won the election. Now all the corporations are like, all right, that's done. that was a moment in time, around George Floyd and COVID and everything. But that's all done. Um, I I'm not worried about Coinbase. Like Coinbase to me, Brian Armstrong, very smart guy. I think they're going to be doing the right thing, and they have a great business. There shouldn't be a ton of overhead on a company like that, and they should be able to make a lot of money just on trading fees. And now with their leverage trading platform, that I think either has gone live or is going live soon. I know they opened up perpetual futures trading on their platform, so Coinbase is going to be fine. Um, crypto is going to be fine. I don't know what everyone's freaking out about here. I will say though that if you're looking for employees that are overpaid, read about what's happening in the AI sector right now. Read about the kind of pay packages that Mark Zuckerberg is offering to AI, researchers like the top guys. We're talking about $1 billion pay packages between compensation and stock options.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's these guys are getting paid more than professional athletes. We're talking $100 million. We'll pay $100 million a year. Like that kind of money is happening now in the AI sector with these big companies poaching talent. So for those who maybe want a piece of that pie, it's not too late to go back to school. Maybe become an AI researcher. You get $100 million pay package if you're good enough. I'm just kidding. That's only there's maybe 20 or 30 of these people that are supposed to be the best of the best, right? And they're just getting enormous pay compensation packages. But no, I'm not worried about Coinbase. I'm not worried about crypto, Bitcoin, anything. I mean, I don't own any Coinbase honestly because I just felt like I have enough exposure in my portfolio to crypto, and crypto investments between my big caps, my small caps, whatever the case may be. So my stock holdings are pretty boring. Diversified portfolio, S&P 500 indexes, that sort of thing. Just very boring, plain vanilla stuff. My wife has some individual stocks that have done quite well, but for myself, just super boring on the traditional investment side because I just felt like if you're you got a lot of risk piled over here in the crypto markets, maybe it's good to have some diversification and some de-risked kind of portfolio over on the traditional side.
Yeah. Stocks giving up some of their gains, still slight green for the day. Bitcoin at the lows for the day, below 114, down to 113.6. You got neutral on the RSI, neutral on the technometer, low volume. You got Frontier Fund saying maybe there's going to be a liquidity grab down here, a quick wick down to brush these lows again. So I'll just say stay tuned to Crypto Paradise. Try to find your entries. We have been showing this ABC down potential correction that could occur. And, follow along to figure out what altcoins we're loving and what altcoins we're buying the dips on, just like we did on this PTGC one down here, just like we did on Surf at the lows, Floki at the lows, and we are watching this potential buy set up on Pengu. Look at this thing rolling over. It could get down to this green buy area. Trying to get you entries, trying to help you on your journey in crypto here, and trying to get you really big gains, because even waiting and having patience like this is quite the drawdown. Instead of putting $100 in here, you can put $100 in 20% lower, and that's like putting $123 in down at those levels. That's how you multiply your gains. That's how you get really big bags at the end of this entire bull cycle, and that's why you're trying to follow Crypto Paradise.
Yeah, you got to wait for the right entries. You don't panic sell the dips, and just like you don't FOMO into the tops or too early or whatever. So stay tuned for the good setups here. I do want to give some brief updates around the Surf token in Crypto Paradise. We have been working diligently in the background, by we I mean the devs, on updating the website and also completing the dashboard where you'll connect your wallet and you get to see all the information related to the token burns, how much tokens you've earned over time through the reflection rewards, liquidity, and how much it's grown over time, as well as some other information. There's going to be a burn function built within this dashboard as well. That's what the dev is working on currently. So you'll actually be able to very easily burn additional Surf tokens. So we're going to do some cool sort of marketing stuff based around that. But this is nearly all complete. I know the Figma design file has been completed for the design updates on the front page of the site, and then the D app itself is basically done. He's just adding the burn button to it as well. So, some updates coming. We also had the Dow voting on the next buyback and liquidity ad. So stay tuned for that. We may do a live buyback on tomorrow's live stream. We'll see if everything is ready by then. But looking like what, $6,000 I think in the Dow wallet presently. So nice little buyback on Surf and adding liquidity to some additional pairs and continue to grow the liquidity web and just grind on up.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So realize every time the Dow has funds, so 6,000 ish in this case, depending on what PLS does, half of that goes towards a Surf buy. The other half goes towards other assets to add to the liquidity pools. And then as you grow liquidity pools, that allows for more volume, that gets the insight to more traders, and that proves more legitimacy for the Surf token moving forward. It also locks up more Surf out of the circulating supply and puts them into liquidity pools. So, yeah, rinse, repeat. The liquidity continues to grow. The burns continue to speed up. And the holders continue to grow as well. 825 holders of Crypto Paradise over on Pulse Chain. Still an unknown, undervalued layer 1 in the crypto ecosystem. And let's see. Let's have some bets on how long it takes to get that to that 4-digit mark, that 1,000 holder mark. Let us know what you think.
It's going to happen, I'll tell you that much. Don't know when, but it absolutely will happen. We're going to keep grinding. I know you guys are going to keep supporting. So appreciate everyone who's been watching these live streams. Appreciate everyone who has been engaging on Telegram and X. Of course, everyone in the Dow. You guys are awesome. Just hang in here. I know the market's a little bit boring, a little bit red, a little bit depressing right now, but that's why you turn to Crypto Paradise. A dose of sunshine, a dose of positivity, a dose of bullishness. So hopefully we brought you some of that today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream as always. And until then, we'll see you on the beach.